everybody has a story. And as a matter of fact, I'm very interested in some of your story that I don't know. So tell us who Anthony Alagona is and just give me your story, man.
Okay, let me tell you about my story. First and foremost, thanks for having me, brother. I'm a big fan. I appreciate your friendship. And like I said before, you're inspiring me to do what I do. So thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
For everybody that doesn't know me, my name is Anthony Alagona. I am a business development strategist who focuses on the automotive world as well as the hospitality world. And I've been in this industry in automotive since 2011. Before 2011, I spent 20 years in hospitality. So I come with a hospitality approach to my process. A little bit to my story, which where I think kind of people like to follow, is that in 2008, I was homeless, and it was from some personal decisions, some bad choices that I made in my life. When I was in the hospitality business, I had a good time making bad decisions, Billy, and I started to drink and abuse drugs, and it led me down a bad path, and I found myself homeless. But looking back at it, it's probably the best thing that ever happened to me, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here. 2011, I ran into a buddy of mine after I picked myself off my feet, and I was working back in the hotel business. And I ran into a buddy that's actually in the automotive space, and he was doing business development training. And he said, Anthony, you know what? You're good at sales. You know, you're good at talking on the phone. Why, come work for me? So I decided to go all in. I said, you know what? Why not? Let me give it a shot. And the interesting part to the story is that, and a lot of people don't know this, is that when I first went to work for my friend, his office was about an hour and 45 minutes away from my house. And I didn't have a driver's license because I got it suspended from being a knucklehead when I was abusing drugs and stuff. And I went to go work for him for a few days, go sit in his office to see, what it was going to entail. And after I got inspired by watching him change his life, I decided to go home and tell myself I wanted to do what he was doing. And my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, she said, how are you going to get there? And I said, I'm going to figure a way out and how I'm going to do that. And I don't recommend people do this, but for about a little over a year, I drove suspended, renting a car from Enterprise to drive back and forth an hour and 45 minutes each way to actually learn the business. Yeah. So that's how I started off. I became a phone process guy. I started listening to phone calls, started grading phone calls, started coaching people on calls, started going to dealerships, started to learn the business. And I worked for him for about 4.5 years until about 2015. By that time, I was already going into dealerships. I was already training business development departments and training them from afar. And around 2015, there was just no more room for me to grow, so to speak, financially, which is part of this show, is money, right?
Yeah.
And I had to make a tough decision, because I love the company I work for, but I also I saw myself going to bigger and better things. So in 2015, May 14th, I took the jump to jump out of the company I was working for and to go out on my own. And that came with a little repercussions, because I kind of got attacked on social media for a little while by my former employer for quite some time. I got sued in court for a non-compete. And then there was an email that went out to 20,000 dealers basically saying, don't work with me. So I told myself to put the blinders on, Billy. I said, you know what? You got two choices, Anthony. You can either respond, or you can just do what you got to do and get to work. And my philosophy was, Bill, to be honest with you, was I don't need to work with every dealer. There's 20,000 franchise dealers out there. But if I just work with the right dealers, and I can get 12 dealers results and get them to love me and get them to bring me back once a quarter, I can do very well for myself. So I told myself, don't respond to the criticism. How people treat you reveals your character, and how you react is how people treat you reveals their character, and how you react is going to reveal yours. So I said, just focus on Anthony. I started to do that. I got my first client in August of 2015. Thank God, because I was getting married in September. Mm-hmm. And when I left my company, I had bad credit. I had no money in the bank. My wife is Indian. So, Billy, that was a very expensive wedding, because I rode in on a horse and looked like Aladdin.
Hey, where's the pictures at, man, that I can have Smith start looking? Do you have some of those online?
They're on Facebook. Yeah, they're on Facebook. You could find it back there. And I got married September 5th of 2015. So you could probably filter that through Facebook and find me on a horse and stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty
But it's probably the best thing that happened is by me getting attacked by my former employer. And we're friends now, and we'll remain friends, because at the end of the day, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be in the industry at all. And the process that I went through, Billy, actually taught me how to fight for what I want. Mm-hmm. Taught me how to fight, taught me how to go all in, how to burn the boats. And, if you just stay positive and you're proactive and you have patience and you have extremely good work ethic, and most importantly, you're enthusiastic and the type of person that people want to be around, success is going to find you.
Yeah, man, there's no doubt. So, I got Smith looking for those photos right now. I really should have him looking for something else. Maybe I know I follow your success as well. And I just want to let people know, just how successful you are. I've seen your background. I've seen some photos where you list all the different OEMs and all the different brands that you've been working for. So maybe you could direct us. I'd like to show a little people, some of those. I love big claims. You know what I'm saying? If you can talk about the fact that you were homeless in 2008, you can talk about the fact that you struggled with personal issues, then I feel like, you know what? Let's talk about the massive success. Let's talk about, right there's one of them I just saw on my screen. I'm sorry, Anthony. But tell us about the success that you're having now, Anthony. I want to let people know.
Well, I'll tell you what, I appreciate that. And I'm blessed. I really am. And, I'm quite proud to say I've never actually placed an ad. You never see me sell myself on social media or anything like that. And all my clients actually come to me through social media or through a referral. So I've been booked out pretty far in advance as far as on-site training. And I've taken a little step back from traveling so I can focus on my off-site solution that I'm trying to do, which I'm learning from you, by the way, which is great. Yeah. But honestly, from speaking events, I've spoken at a bunch of events for Jim Ziegler, for the Rockstar Auto Conference, for Hustle and Grind. For a bunch of OEMs, I've spoken for Mercedes, I've spoken for BMW. Ford sponsored me to go talk to them down in Orlando. It's been quite a blessing, and it just comes from focusing on the client and over delivering on their expectations. You got to find out what's important to them, and you got to tell yourself, if you just focus on the results for them, money's going to come. I don't do it for the money, I do it for the results. And
Anthony, I got to jump in, man. This is so exciting to me.
Sorry.
Man. No. I'm sorry. I should let you talk, but people get tired of hearing me talk. But homeless in 2008, struggled, addiction or abuse of drugs, and then you're speaking for Mercedes, sponsored by Ford, working with dealers, all referrals.